Aha! Aha ha 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 ha! Aha ha ha! Very well played! Very well played, Minecraft! Out of memory already, are ya? Do you want to know how long I've been playing Minecraft for with this client today? 2 minutes? Oh, let me guess. Let me guess. Is Streamlabs also on the screen? Yeah. You know, professional streamer. That's what they call me. I don't know why it does that. So it thinks that the game Shapes is Slobs. Which is weird, because when we stream Shapes, it knows that that game is Shapes. Hey, look at this. We've got our Minecraft back now. It decided to run out of memory after me hardly doing anything with it. So, once again, an incredible stream. An incredible start to the stream. I know what you're thinking. I've got to hit that follow button now. I've just got to hit it. Like, this was incredible. I thought I was going to watch Minecraft, but no, it's just derpage. Welcome to the twitch.tv/theassumer, where we are streaming from the Hermitcraft. And we've got noises in the ear. Official Jaden's here with cheers and bits. Yo, Assumer, my curiosity is getting the best of me, but curious question, what would you do if the chat... That was yesterday. It gets better. I'm reading the message from yesterday. Oh, dear, this is a bad sign. Oh, no. How many times are going to die today? Clearly a lot. Whew. What happened to Grian? Something happened to Grian's face. Peeps, I think all of the shulker boxes for Decked Out have been taken today. I was hoping to get on earlier, which I did not manage to do, and hopefully pick one up and do a run on stream. Doesn't look like that's going to be a thing, unfortunately. But I got some things we're going to do, like this over here. I mean, this is looking ugly. It's looking ugly fugly. We're going to be changing this up today. No ender chest. Where's my ender chest then? Huh. No ender chest. What would you know? I think I left my stuff somewhere. Yeah, look, some chests are... I've actually got to go all the way back to the base. Well, there we go. You know, organised. Me, definitely organised. Definitely in the know. Hey, I've had a just total not on the PC day today. This is my first time coming to the PC for a bit. Let's read those noises in the ear that aren't from yesterday. Let's read the ones from today. Reese Big Mac is here for 2 months. Checking my elytra. Can't wait for an awesome stream. I hope it'll be awesome. I'm in a good mood. I've noticed, like, whenever I have this little thought pop into my head of, oh, I should stream earlier today, it tends to end up being a good stream. Like, I have this kind of end of the day mentality for streaming. Like, it's like the last thing I do, and then it's like cooldown, except for when I stream on the weekends. But I've realised lately it's actually kind of cool just to stream a little earlier in the day. I don't know, just for several reasons, just the way it makes the day feel, you know, the fun comes a little sooner. I had decided I'm probably not going to hook up my base to Ethos Tunnel. I've actually been thinking about some projects I'm going to do post this base. Feel like this base is kind of like coming to its conclusion. I'm actually going to work on it. We're going to build a little something in here, I hope, today. But I came back to get some rockets. Okay, got those. And get some bone blocks and some other stuff. And figure out where my ender chests were. I think they're here. Yeah, I've been doing some tidying up, you'll notice. In goes the redstone. In go the lights. And I think I need some white coloured blocks. We'll take that. Kabooey. Maybe reds. Yep, there's some red stuff in there I want. And some additional bone blocks. I Fell Asleep wants to know how I came up with the name Asuma. Well, took the word music, flipped it around, changed the C to an X and added an A, I believe. Average Minds here for 25 months. Thank you ever so much, man. That's over 2 years. Appreciate ya. TYYT849 is here with the Prime subscription. Flame Vamp is here for 3 months. Incredible support. Thank you. Venom Vill of Ice 13 here with the Prime. FW Games for 22 months. We got Remelo STV here for 5 months. Hydrax12 is here with a regular subscription. Flatliners is here with a Prime subscription. And Big Papa House is in the house for 18 months. 2 Twitch babies. Incredible. Thank you so much. We also got Official Jaden here gifting a sub to Amber Berg Jess. Thank you for tuning in, and Jaden, thank you for supporting our community with that gifted sub. Spooky Doki's here with the tier 3 subscription for 30 months. My goodness me. Thank you so much, Spooky Doki. Speaking of tier 3 subscriptions, my patrons, the people that play on LPMT2, we're going to be doing some playtesting. Okay, I've got to take this helmet off. We're going to be doing some playtesting for L13 in the future. I'm going to show you right now. You'll see it in a future episode, okay? So if you're whitelisted, I'm hoping there is interest in helping me test this. It could be that no one's interested, and that's fine. But if we come onto here and go to the creative server. It loads twice for me every time. Don't know why. Yeah, this is very impromptu. I didn't know I was going to do this, but I just started talking about it. So we fly up here. I think. There it is. Okay, so that is the L13 arena. It was a real pain to get it on here. I had to manually rebuild a load of this stuff. As you can see, there are still blocks that are missing. Well, that was clever. Could have died. And yeah, I think all of the redstone's broken, unfortunately, as well. Anyway, we're going to design like a new arena using World Edit. I'm thinking when you play the game from further away, like over here, it's harder to hit the targets. I also want it to be easy to hit the other team. I've got so many ideas. I shouldn't get into it right now. Anyway, I want to be building these elements up on stream and testing them as well. So to peeps who are whitelisted, you know, in future streams we'll be doing that. Probably next week we'll start doing it. And for those of you asking in chat, I used Amulet actually to get that out of the world, which is like a new world edit. It's a bit clunky, but it's usable. Now we can go do some building. And I think what I want to do is make the shape of what we're building the inside blocks here. Okay. So we're going to have the shape of our building like this. Oh, it's starting to rain outside. And we're going to build it out of bone blocks, believe it or not. So we'll do a portion of this, rip out the other stuff, and take a step back. So I wanted to make this look better. Okay, we got Generic Gemini here for 2 months. Extras blew my mind explaining how he's got his name. Alright, if you haven't heard the story before, that's the story. It's old news to me. Matsubu is here for 21 months. Incredible. Dabby4222 here for 10 months. And EA Sport 638 is here with the Amazon Prime. Okay, we got Jish0304 here for 2 months. Thank you so much. Bone block noise is satisfying. I agree, it is. Also got a hot cup of tea here. That's satisfying. I am unbanned, says Hyman. Well, you're talking in chat. I guess that's true. We got MPA Dutch here for the nation saying, hey X, I sent you a link to a documentary about vegetables. Have you watched it yet? Also, what do you think of it? I didn't, because I don't speak Dutch and there were no subtitles for it. So, sorry, you know, I don't speak the language. But I was interested, for sure. I was interested in it, but couldn't understand what they were saying. Thank you for the donation, dude. Appreciate it. It hurts when your pixels is only 160, says DVR. Is that low resolution streaming right there? Ah! You are not the block I expected you to be. What are you going to do today, says Ask. We're going to build a silo and build some storage silos as well. 2 silos, sort of. You'll see. Just doing storage stuff. Well, this don't even store anything, but it's a silo, is the idea. And I keep, for some reason, it's because I'm looking at chat. Like, my brain is just focused on chat today. Thoughts on 30 series graphics cards, says Jakey Boy. As always, there is always something new and more powerful coming out, and there is always an attempt to make you think you need it. It's the cycle continues, you know, just it is what it is, right? You know, graphics is exciting that it can get more realistic and we can do cool and powerful stuff with it, but there's also a lot of beauty in simplicity, and I think somewhere quite a few years ago, for me, computer game graphics kind of crossed a threshold where don't get too impressed by modern graphics. That being said, playing Doom Eternal, I feel like there's some great utilization of modern graphics there. I'm not normally a fan of the high detailed textury stuff, but they somehow made it work for a theme that I kind of like in that game. Ah, surprise T, you are incorrect. I do not play on a 1080p 60 monitor. I got a 920 1200, which is so the resolution aspect ratio is usually 16:9. I have 16:10, which means you just get a little bit more vertical height. It allows you to play 1080p games with the taskbar visible. I've always liked that. And I can't even remember how I ended up first getting that resolution, but I've stuck with it ever since. Okay, so in terms of a silo, it's a bit fat, but we can't really go any skinnier than that. What I'd like to do now is incorporate just some very simple styling. Where did I don't think I even put that shulker box down, did I? Also, I don't have, oh no, I do have my bed on me. There we go. That's why you play Minecraft, says Lapente. If you look at the games I play historically on my channel and live streams, you'll notice there is a leniency towards these sorts of graphics. Like, prefer sort of more interpretational graphics, I guess, than realism. Satisfactory would be a good example of a game I liked, but the graphics not so much. They're just, I don't know, I think I enjoy using your imagination a little bit more than being immersed, let's say. Now, if we look at the height of this thing, we don't want to add too many stripes, so let's add 5. Well, that might even be too much, but let's say we were to come across here and just put that in. Now, it doesn't give us any 3D shape, and doing that just feels like too much. Maybe some trapdoors would be cool, but then trapdoors, they're not that fat. Well, do you know what? Wall blocks. What wall blocks do we have access to? Now, there's something I really want to do in this game when I'm on Hermitcraft, and that's go into creative mode. And before you start going, oh, you cheat, you absolute cheat. Here's why. I just want to go here and type walls. I wish we had this in survival. Red nether brick wall. We could put red on red. We could use something less subtle with nether brick wall. These sort of things don't always jump to me. Diorite. We can put diorite on the white. So it's just a really quick way to do that. I just kind of wish that was in survival. You do have this. And if we do that, I guess... Oh. Interesting. Doesn't show me how to craft walls. An encyclopedia. Epic shot, exactly. Hey, maybe there's a mod for that. I would love that. Just next to this button, another one that basically lets you search all the blocks. That would be super sweet. Oh, we're out of diorite! How could it be? Usually I have some extra lying around. There you go. Now, as for the nether brick stuff, I don't think I've got any nether supplies. I might have a little bit on me. Need a workbench to see it all. Yeah, but you can still craft it in a crafting bench, right? So in theory it should appear there, but I guess it's because I haven't actually ever made that yet. Okay, also there's probably some blocks on the inside, right? So now we have... Where did I get that extra ender chest from? Oh, I picked it up in my base. All makes sense again, all makes sense. Yeah, I got one... Can you believe it? I got one of these. We have to fly all the way back to the base to find out if that's what I want to use. Kind of looks like it could work. Let's grab a these. Some of these and some of those. Okay. Alternative is to use diorite as a sort of brace. It's a bit icky. It's a bit icky, I think. Isn't there also polished? Yeah, but not as a wall. Okay, those I think we can do without for today. So, we're going to have to fly back to the base again. Efficiency. Took a while to fly there. I wonder if Tango's going to lay down any more shulker boxes. That would be cool. That would be cool right now, you know. Hey, Tango. See, now we've got a sweet talk. Doing decked out stuff would sure be cool to find a new box on stream. Look at me. Look at me. I'm so cheeky. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh. Oh! Ow! Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, no, I missed it again. Play decked out, says B15 Muff. I mean, if I haven't just hinted at being able to play decked out enough, I don't know what more I got to do to spell it out for you. Oh, look, Tango ain't even replying. It's too cheeky. He's going to deduct points from me now. Oh, the trouble I get myself into. So yeah, look, we got some nether brick. Oh, that was fence. Fence is kind of not as chunky as well. I think that's a good incentive to go that way then. Asuma, will you play the new Marvel Avengers? No. I shall not. I wasn't even aware that was a thing you could play. Let's just make all of them, right? Like, it's not like this stuff is expensive. Just thinking, don't take too many, but then it's like, well, don't take too little. Do you have points already, says Mads Rabbit. I do not, I do not. X, do you have a decked out barrel? I do, we all have a decked out barrel when we're playing. Okay. Whew. Yeah, I had a feeling I'd have a few more over here. So we'll take that with us in case we need to make more. And we should be good now. What is the plan for this stream, says Minecraft? It is to make silos and to make storage. And we got Hot Cocoa Gaming here with a Prime subscription. We got Bossman101 here for 3 months saying, what do you think about vegan and vegans trying to make everyone? Love the stream and videos, keep it up. Dude, whenever there is a group of people out there in the world, left or right, vegans or some other group, right, there's always going to be some people in there that don't behave well and give everyone a bad name, right? And I'm aware that within veganism, there is this kind of perception of like these holier-than-thou vegans that want to shove their diet down your throat. And sure, there probably are some people out there that do it. There's meat eaters that do it. I tell you, I discussed the carnivore diet on a stream once and got a whole bunch of tweets from people who would die hard about eating meat and nothing else, right? I was a vegan, briefly, in the past, okay? In my journey learning about food and nutrition and diet and wanting to have a healthier diet, I, you know, tried going vegan for a while. And it was kind of around that time that I realised that a lot of these sort of documentaries about food I've been watching were all from this sort of go vegan, go vegetarian kind of angle. Now, I love my veggies, man. Some of my favourite food is just vegetables, you know. I'm all for it. It's a good component of your diet. But in learning about nutrition, all of that, I kind of learned about what's good and healthy about meat and other things as well. So it kind of, you know, I was vegan for a while, but then I kind of decided, actually, I want to put my health first and eat what's right for me as opposed to eat ideologically. That's where I kind of ended up. So I eat meat, not a crazy amount. I used to get all of my meat from the local farm, but then with Corona, that's completely changed, actually. I don't know if I'm good to go back there. Probably am, actually. They're probably still going, I hope. I don't know. I haven't been there because like everything got turned on its head with Corona. But yeah, anyway, I used to get my meat from this local farm, so it was all non-factory farmed meat, which I want to do again. But anyway, to extend what you asked about to like the bigger picture thing, like just forget like groups and these lot are crazy and all of that kind of stuff, right? focus on the ideas, focus on the value of something, and when people are being unreasonable or obnoxious in any way, don't let that paint the whole picture of the idea. Okay? A bad idea is a bad idea, but veganism, not really a bad idea in my opinion. I mean, factory farming is god-awful. And I think most people are aware of it now, how bad it is, and how we love animals and we don't really want them to be treated like that. Doesn't mean you have to stop eating it. It's just like, be aware of the idea, understand it, etc. One thing I will say, and I always say when this topic comes up, is that if you do want to go vegan, you should really, really understand what you're doing, okay? Don't just be like, oh, I'm just going to not eat meat and eggs and stuff like that anymore, right? Like, you should really have a good understanding of your nutrition, because when you go vegan, very easy to get some deficits in certain types of vitamins and whatnot, right? So you need to really know what you're doing. Got to take supplements and all of that if you're not eating the right sort of stuff. The bit for me is the environmental impact, says Diz. Yeah, the environment, nature, animals, whatever it is. There's many good reasons, I think. Assumer is anti-resistance, if I recall correctly. I don't know what anti-resistance means. That sounds sort of vague. Official Jane says, oh, talking about food. Not really, we're not talking about food, we're talking about ideologies. And I guess it just happens the one that came up just relates to it, because, you know, this person's asked me directly, like, oh, what do you think about, you know, basically crazy vegans, right? Because there is this thing on the internet of, like, hating on vegans, and it's just because a few people, like, the ones out there that are like, oh, I'm a vegan and you should be too. They're going to do that about anything, right? Like, if that's your attitude, like, you're going to go out there into the world, like, think you know it all and then tell other people what's what. It's not veganism that does that, it's just you as a person. So, don't let the crazies paint the picture. Agree with you, X, I'm dairy free and I mostly eat vegan. It's hard, but some of my favourite dishes are vegan and there's nothing wrong with it, says Luna Cupcake. Yeah, same here, I love, you know, vegan desserts are really nice. That's weird, that is, I always thought, but maybe it's not actually that weird, it's just... Because eggs, I think eggs is like the common thing that's usually in dessert, right? Like, most of the desserts I know of, because I don't really know how to cook dessert, right? That's like a conscious thing. Dessert usually means sugar, usually means more unhealthy, but anyway, eggs seems to be like a common ingredient of making desserts, I've noticed, and obviously if you're vegan, you're not going to eat eggs. And that's one of the reasons I'm not vegan, is because I think that eggs are extremely nutritional. They're like one of the best sources of protein, and the fat in it is really great. No carbs, if you're worried about carbs, and there's loads of vitamins, nutritional value in eggs, and you know, I could give up meat probably pretty easily, but eggs, always going to be in my diet. I truly agree and believe with the vegan ideology, but I still eat meat. Am I a hypocrite, says Posserman. I don't know. Like, because I kind of get the ideology as well, right? And that was driving my dietary decisions at one point in time. And then I just kind of realized I don't think ideology is the best thing for health. And, you know, I sort of became aware of, like, certain nutritional deficits you can have from eating only vegan, so that's when I started to, you know, like, hey, I'm not going to be ideological about my diet. But in principle, I agree with much of it. Like, if our food causes suffering to animals and other beings, like, and it's unnecessary, then why? But for me, it is kind of necessary for diet and nutrition, I think. And hey, eating something like eggs is like, doesn't have to be particularly harmful to the chickens, but you got to watch out, like, what type of eggs do you buy. If you get the free range stuff, supposedly chickens have happier lives, right? But you can also get some eggs where they're farmed in horrible factory conditions. A lot of the information around it is tricky to figure out as well. What's your favourite way of cooking eggs? Scrambled, boiled, etc. I just chuck them in the frying pan, right, and turn up the heat. I've heard it's best to cook eggs slow, but I'm usually impatient, so I probably don't even eat them the tastiest way, but damn, they're tasty and healthy. I also like pickled eggs in a salad. Damn, that's nice. In the future, we may have to eat insects for, says Escape Penguin. I don't know quite what you mean by that, but, you know, an interesting point about eating vegan is that, like, the cycle of life and death and things consuming one another to live, that is, like, built into existence to the point where it's almost impossible to not. So, like, even when you're eating vegetables, like, they have to kill animals to protect the land where those things are farmed. It's like, it's totally unavoidable, but obviously one thing's clearly better than the other, right? Is sort of the point. Our silo here actually looks pretty darn good without this red strip. I just really don't want it to be super duper plain. Do I have any quartz to hand? Maybe I already put it in my inventory. Yeah, I'm just thinking like... Oh, I wish there were like half blocks and... Well, there's slabs, but you know what I mean, like vertical half blocks. I'd love to be vegetarian. Vegan's a bit much for me, but my family has lots of dietary restrictions, meaning we eat meat daily, says Thomas. But you could always ask, perhaps. Hey, just, you know, give me more veggies and you have the meat. Right? Deviled eggs are great. I've never heard of deviled eggs, but now I want some deviled eggs, because that sounds amazing, right? I love a good roast, but vegan meals are also very nice. I just don't like the ideology of it. Yeah. I didn't quite get to read the rest of that message. Oh, by the way, it's definitely time to drink some tea. Good stuff. Let's catch up on those noises in the ear then. Thomas Games 01 with the Prime, Tygan Furile with the Prime, Commandro with the Prime. We've got Silver Cheetah here for 6 months. Incredible. Kim Forever here for 4 months. Blando 5 with the Prime. Fox R Glog for 2 months. The Dork Knight 87 for 11. Alu 191 is here subscribing. Arpondonog here for 6 months. Appreciate it. Licky Sticky here for 12 saying X, it's been a while. Do you remember my promotion to manager? Well, things are moving fast now. I'm buying the business. Wow. I'll be taking ownership in almost a year. Legal stuff, slowing things down. Dude, that is awesome. Way to make some strides in life right there. Congratulations. That sounds awesome. Well done. T-Money FN here with the Prime. Widder Shins here with cheers and bits. I appreciate your moderate view on diet. 6 cups of greens and a little meat once a day makes me well. That sounds pretty healthy to me, man. That sounds pretty good. Scarcade says, should I get a water-cooled PC? I want something that's quiet, but I don't know if the risk is worth it. I believe that water-cooled PCs are pretty much, you know, the risk is very minimal, like it's been properly done. However, I've never liked the idea of mixing water and computers. Don't think anyone does. You can get really great, quiet cases. I used Antec in the past. I'm now using... what is this thing called? But if you go and look at PC cases and you get ones with grommets for mounting hard drives, like noise dampening shielding glued to the insides, and remember these cases will not be pretty looking ones. They're boxy. I mean, they're pretty well styled, right? They're not just an ugly box, but the last 2 cases I've had are noise dampened ones, and sometimes you just can't tell when the computer's on because they're so quiet. So you don't need water cooling to do that. Unless you want to go overclocking, then maybe you do. But yeah, like if you go for light and glass windows in the side of your cases, you're going to run into noise. If you go for these like sleek black boxes that are just full of noise dampening stuff, then it's going to be better for you. I think I'm going to focus on the top for a minute before we add any detail here. Because man, I've had such a builder's block lately, and I just feel like I'm staring at something again where I just don't know how to translate it. I really would like some blocks to pillar up with right now. Am I out of bone blocks again already? Surely not. We'll definitely need more for the top. Let's go pinch a few from our own shop, right? Alright, we got Licky Sticky Icky gifting a sub to Sure Does. Thank you for supporting our community with a gifted sub. Appreciate it. Tango never replied, did he? Tango ain't interested. Coisty Fishy's here for 5 months. Thank you so much. Jellyman 2001. Getting closer to being a Twitch baby. Awesome dude, awesome dude. 2 more months to go. Official Jaden here with a donation saying once upon a time was a bee whom he called himself Bisuma. Bisuma went on many, many adventures and stumbled upon a giant deathly figure who called himself Asuma. Bisuma asked for the invisibility potion and he drank it to escape from Asuma. Excuse me, T-burp in there. Jaden, thank you so much for the donation, dude. Appreciate the support. Wow, making some sales over here. I feel like there's something I should understand about the invisibility potion, but I just ain't getting it today. You know me, I'm a brain derp. I'm a brain derp. Oh my god, no. I just remember... I came up with this jingle once that was a mix of that Tupac song where he goes, I'm a straight rider. And it was something to do with being a derp. I recorded it, and I recorded me whistling the melody. And it was too goofy for me to bear. And so I was like, nope, that one's going in the vault. Oh my god, it just popped into my head again. I can't remember the lyrics I came up with, but man, it was derpy. Peeps want to hear. No, you don't. You definitely don't want to hear it. It's terrible. I was like, oh, this is dorky on a whole nother level. The dork is real. But why derp faces in chat? Why the derp faces? Me no understand. Okay, I'm not aware of any derpage I've done right now, so that's not really going to feel very domey. Is what I'm thinking. Just trying to pick those blocks back up. Do you know what? I don't know how to build domes, right? Like, I'm going to really wing this one. So it's 2 again. Then I guess it's 1 over here. We got Midnight77 subscribing. Thank you so much, Midnight. Appreciate it. Feels like it's midnight right now with this sun going down, right? Okay, maybe this is just the best way to do it and then mine all the blocks out after. Although it does feel a little inefficient. Ah! Fell down. Oh, time to sleep. Time to sleep. Oh, that's not a bed. Are you building a new shop, says Alex Ferguson. No, no, not at all. X, what are you thinking about spending money inside of a game, says Ethan Lib. Do you mean like microtransactions? I've never liked them. I grew up in an era where things were done different, so I've always kind of frowned upon them, I guess. Sometimes they're very predatory. Right, let's actually come out to the end here and just bring these ones up. And then maybe look at it like this. You know, it may not be the most domey thing, but it'll probably do. That shape will probably not be an issue. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling that one was like that. How do you get the bits to talk, says Tipper Builder? I think when people send bits, they put a message with it. Oh, unless you mean like on Starstream, where they have like talking bits. I don't even know how they do that. I mean, it's obviously some sort of plug-in, right? But I don't use it. You should use iron braces for the silo. They look nice as Agent. Yeah, iron bars, right, as braces? Yeah, you're probably right. And maybe even some iron blocks. Those are probably what we should try. Let's get this roof on it and then we'll figure it out. You should join the mycelium resistance. No way! No way. I want to get rid of all the mycelium. I could listen to the bone block sounds all day. Well, we're going to be placing them for a while longer, I think. Let's use these blocks next, right? So we've got to create the same shape. It's actually, I've done it wrong here, and I think we should take that one out. Yeah, let's do that first of all. So now it's going to wiggle its way all the way around, so we know to put these basically like this. So it's, you know, you can walk all the way on it. So that's the first row of blocks. Second one is like groups of 2. Well, well, well. We have an enforcer in the building. I say it's a group of 2, but actually it's going to be a group of 3, first of all. So that's a group of 3, then it's a group of 2, and then it's a group of 3 again. Making sure it's up to code. Good, good. We want to be a, you know, a proper building. A building that's not causing problems. That's what we want to be. Whatever that is, we want to be it. Get it? Because I'm a bee. I'm a bee having a good time on the Hermitcraft server. It's one of those cheesy 80s songs. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That's officially illegal. Val Chart is here for 2 months. Part of the posse. Thanks. Amarchi Streams is here with the resubscription. And Mr. D is here for 8 months. Love the content, the conversations, and the positivity. Cheers, dude. Glad you enjoy it all. Oh my gosh, X, says Alpen Glow Up. With the crying emoji. What have I done now? Jeez, quite the reaction. Cub fan is God, says Zoggen Woo. Cub fan. Cun fan. Cub fam. You a deity. Hopefully I've spelt that right. Not diety. I think that's the right way. Now that makes me think of that Ministry song. But I can't quite remember the lyrics. He comes to me, deity. Something like that. He's a pharaoh, close enough, says Salty Hallerman. Close enough, eh? That'll do. That'll do. The thing now is I want to get in there and retrieve our blocks, even if it's, for the most part, relatively useless to do so. We'll have to put one there. Now I'm going to come in here and claim it all back, am I? Might be, actually no, I don't need to put lights in here. This is a non-mob zone, so no lights required. Assumer, have you ever thought of voicing an audiobook or something? Because, man... Thank you for the nice message, dude. Yeah, I'd love to do something like that. In fact, I'm working on a little project that will have me doing some more talky stuff at the moment. I actually voiced some lines for a computer game once. That was pretty cool. That was really cool, that was. I never played the game, but I was in it. And it was just one of those things where, like, they just asked and I was like, sure, I'll do that. Like, why not? He doesn't know. Like, if he was a deity, wouldn't he know that? Like, aren't gods supposed to be all knowledgeable? Or is Cubfan working in mysterious ways? Is that what he's doing? Is he moving in mysterious ways? Right, that Cubfan, eh? Always moving in mysterious ways. Let's go and turn this into jump boost numero 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the moon. I don't feel like a jump boost. It is, but welcome to the moon. I would actually really like to kind of like flesh out the border a little bit. Flesh out, sketch out. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's counting with X time. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm not going to do this perfectly, of course. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, like 50. Literally, like, to the border, right? To the border. Then this way, this sort of space here is going to be covered by the next one. So this has all been, like, precisely measured. We're just going to put a little marker there is the idea. Rockets. That's what I need. I need a rocket. Learn to count, Timmy. Jeez, says Clammy. Learn to count, Timmy. What's your name even, eh? What even is that guy's name? Right, let's do this, do that. We need 2 more beacons. We got them. So, up here, the jump and the boost will be enabled. Yes. No, wrong one. Just instinctively going for haste. We got a noise in the ear from Helicasified for 5 months, and Widder Shins for cheers a bit, saying, have you listened to the book Born to Run by Christopher McDougall yet? Goes into natural running, and it strikes me as a subject you'd enjoy your input on. I will give that one a try. I've heard about that one, and I gotta say, like, it would probably interest me. I think the problem is I might have listened to him talk on the Joe Rogan podcast, or at least I heard about it there. Sometimes when I've like listened to a topic with an author on a podcast, it's like, well, I don't need to read the book. But now I've like listening to Atomic Habits and I've almost finished it. I'm like, yeah, this was a great idea to like read the book as well. So that's probably one I'm going to enjoy. Okay, 6 and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Can you guess what comes next? 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. So again, it comes to somewhere around here, right? Like, it's been ever so well planned out so that we cover every little bit of this entire area. So if we come around to this one, put that there. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, baby! We got the jump boost. The one place it might not reach might just be over the back here. Yeah, Born to Run is really entertaining and informative at the same time, says Widdershins. I'll have to give it a go then, dude. I've got a few others on the audiobook list, but I'll add that one. Ray America is here with a Prime subscription. Thank you, Ray America. Appreciate it. One thing I'll say about audiobooks is, like, I think a good length for an audiobook for me is about 3 to 6 hours. I've really not got far beyond like, hours longer in books, so I just tend to like get bogged down in the subject. Could the beacons affect decked out, says I'm Ultimate? Aha, great question. The reason they're high up in the sky, like up here and here, is so they don't reach the decked out dungeons. So, you have obviously thought this through, as have I. Oh, I gotta say, the top of this thing does not feel very... I've missed out an important element here. I've looked at it like one block at a time, and I think we can remedy it like relatively well if we just come over here and like switch from this layer and push it down by one. You should carpet it, says Burb. I don't know what you mean by that. I do not know what y'all mean. Also, I feel like the back of the TBE never like really got much attention, right? Like it should have some more stuff going on. That's blocked off my path. So I guess... Well, the way out is there, so that'll be the last bit that I do. By the way, talking on things that I'm watching, right? Battlestar Galactica. Okay, I really like getting to chat TV with all of y'all, because I don't actually like, of all my friends and family, I don't really actually share many like shows or entertainment. You know, like I can't sit with someone and waffle about a show because no one tends to watch the stuff I do. So I like to have a good old waffle, or yeah. But Battlestar Galactica, right? After buying it on Amazon, I found out you can watch it all on free on a BBC iPlayer just the other day, but not a biggie because it's old and it's cheap, so don't worry about that. I'm like in season 2 towards the end of it, and I've just lost interest in the show. It feels like its ability to deliver twists and turns is very kind of obvious. They seem to just bring in a problem that immediately feels like big and, oh, this is going to change everything, and then very quickly it just kind of come back to its baseline, and the same characters are in the same sort of positions. They brought in like another admiral and fleet, and it was just, oh, how's this going to play out? There's so many things that could happen here. And very quickly did they sort of raise the stakes and then just bring it back to its baseline, and almost like after a couple of episodes this whole new aspect of the show was sort of neutralized. And they've done that with like several characters in the past and things that they brought on. I just wondering for any Battlestar Galactica fans out there, if like, should I stick with it? Is there better stuff coming? Or, I mean, Pegaloston says it quickly became very repetitive. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. It feels like the way they write the story is just bring in this new problem and then bring it back to the baseline again pretty quick. I think it might suffer a little bit from the old mentality of TV shows where you used to tune in and things needed to be more on a baseline. Like if you take Star Trek The Next Generation, for example, like things are very one episode and you can jump in at any time, all the same characters are there, they go on an adventure and then it wraps up at the end. I'm doing a lot of stuff with my hands right now. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, says OK Art. Yep. So not a lot of people in chat. I always prefer shows like that, says M. Berlin. I think it can work for a show. I think the value of a show is not determined by its structure. It's like there's many aspects of what makes something good or not. But for me, I feel like it's caught between trying to be more episodic but bringing it back round again every time. I stopped watching Battlestar Galactica just for the end of season 2. A bit too dystopian for me right now. That's pretty much where I've got to and felt like I want to stop watching. It had a super low budget. Yeah, I feel like that. Set design and the way they need to keep bringing it back to small locations really feels like, yeah, budget limitations. I got that. I picked up on that. The original or the new one? Well, when we say new, we're talking like the noughties one. Yeah, not a lot of people saying to keep watching it. I might just give up on it. Like, it was good for a while, but no point watching something that's no longer entertaining just to say, oh yeah, watched it or whatever. what's that called? Sunk cost fallacy, and I experienced a little bit of that today at the post office, right? I would have started this stream earlier, but I had to nip to the post office, and I'm standing in the queue and they're training someone new, and like it takes a good 5 minutes to get through the first 2 people in the queue, and I'm thinking, oh boy, like, should I just leave and then come back tomorrow? Anyway, I decided to stick with it, and about 2 minutes later, like all of a sudden they just started rocketing for everyone because the other people had like different tasks. Like mine was like, here's a package, here's a QR code, off I go. And the other people were like that as well. So got in and got out. But yeah, I was thinking about that sunken cost fallacy. I was like, you know, am I just sticking to this because I've, you know, put in time? It's kind of like that. I don't think it's worth it. So anyway, GPD says, what is Battlestar Galactica about? I mean, I can infer it's probably a space flick, but beyond that, it's a very political drama type show, right? And I feel like some of the more interesting aspects of their situation and their potential for intrigue with the main like protagonist, antagonist of the show, like, which is like aliens, well not aliens, robots created by humans, but it just feels like such a squandered opportunity so far. Like all these interesting things about them aren't really revealed or investigated. They're just constantly a sort of plot point that turns up, creates a problem, then the problem gets solved, and then they sort of disappear for a while. Yeah. But anyway, so in the meantime, I started watching something else because, you know, I heard of something that sounded really kind of cool, and turns out it's something I've watched before. I kind of realised it once I started watching it. But if anyone out there is a fan of The Wire, there is also this show they actually did before The Wire with many of the actors from that show called The Corner, and it's fantastic. And I watched it many years ago, maybe like 10 years ago. And watching it again, I kind of had that feeling of like, have I seen this before? And then I was like, I'm just going to enjoy it, man. This show's like really fantastic. If you're a fan of The Wire, then check out The Corner, and you can actually watch it on YouTube. It's probably technically like not a legal upload, but it's on there. And I've been watching it through YouTube, and like the 4th part is missing, and it made me think, whenever you find a movie or something you want to watch, and it tends to be like old outdated stuff where copyright law is probably not as enforced, but someone's like uploaded it to YouTube, maybe it's got like Spanish subtitles or something like that, but there's always that one part of it that's just missing, right? There's always just that, oh, episode 4 isn't there, great, like what am I going to do now? You can't buy it anywhere as well. The only way to get it is on DVD, and I realised that playing DVDs on my telly is a pain in the bum. Means like plugging in old stuff and takes ages to set up. It's funny, like technology's so convenient now. It's like turn on the telly and it just immediately playing the last thing I was watching. Whereas it used to be, if you wanted to watch something, you had to like, you know, like have a drive, like a VHS or a DVD player, and then you'd put that in there and you'd have to rewind the tape or wait for like the system to load up, and there's all this like stuff in the way that took time, and it's just gone now. And so now whenever it's like, oh, I want to watch a movie on DVD, no thanks. There are also websites, says the Gold Jaha. Yeah, of course there's pirate websites out there. Oh, what happened there? There's always going to be that option if you need it. My personal view on piracy, having pirated in the past, is like when you don't have a lot of money, it's rather attractive, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But I don't pirate anymore. I haven't for a long time because I can afford, you know, to. Oh, it just goes lower at this last bit. I can afford to now, and one of the things about piracy though, I always stuck in my head is like when piracy offers a better option than, or a better service than something you can pay for, then that's really going to drive piracy. And for a long time, pirating stuff was kind of better. Like, you could get the same or better quality as DVDs online. You could get them before they appeared in the shops and all that kind of stuff, right? It took a while for streaming services to sort of outpace that, because now like when something comes out on Netflix, it'll be pirated probably in hours or days, right? but you can just click and play and watch like that on Netflix. It's now there and available, and piracy will struggle to compete with that. Whereas in the past, when you were competing with DVDs and stuff, it was like, well, you can get these things before they're out in the shop and whatnot. Oh man, the rain is picking up outside. Are you a weeb? X, what's a weeb's mouth breather? What is a weeb? Official Jaden here, gifting a sub to Tuxaban. We also got my dude 2312 here for 5 months, saying I wish I could stay for the stream, but I have to go to school. You have a good day at school, dude. Man, the rain is just blasting down right now. It's absolutely blasting it. It's so loud you can probably hear it. Alright, let's zoom out a little here. Don't really feel like the iron bars add very much. In fact, in general, I don't really think there's too much more to do here. Maybe chipping off that on the corner will look a little nicer. That more domed kind of feel. Don't really feel like the iron bars add very much. It's because the build itself isn't really much to begin with, right? I feel like, if anything, the iron blocks down the bottom make a bit of sense. Let's try changing this up a bit, right? Try and make it feel a little bit more structural. Let's put that there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put that on each side and then call it. And now we've got to go around and get rid of all of this. Oh, you can hear the rain noise in the background, but it's nice. Well, that's good. I've always liked the sound of rain, and I think it's because we live in comfort, and rain is just like this sort of pleasant thing when it's not a threat to your survival. It's like a nature sounds. It reminds you of being warm and cozy in a weird way. Like, not if you were out there in the wild getting soaked, like, but because we live in societies with, you know, all these buildings and comforts. Like, I remember I used to get like quite agitated getting caught outside in the rain, but then I kind of realised it's never that long before you're then inside. And you always kind of appreciate getting out of the rain and, you know, maybe grabbing a hot drink and a towel to like dry off a bit. So now whenever it like rains, I don't really get too fussed by it. I remember I was out walking with my parents walking the dog a while back, and we had gone on a long walk and it had started raining, but all of us were just like content with continuing the walk, because, you know, it's not going to be long before you're back indoors and it's going to be nice and cozy, so might as well just enjoy the walk. I love running around in the rain, says Molly the Spy. I like it if I'm out for a run, like, because I'm going to check the weather. It doesn't rarely ever happen, but let's say I'm out for a run and it rains lightly. That can be really nice, just cools you off and keeps you going. Now maybe we'll add like an extra panel here and there of this. Is it me or is it gone? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, okay, we're good, we're good. Do you have a metal roof? I do not have a metal roof. I've got a tile roof, and then I have a conservatory as well that's like a plastic roof, I guess. And you hear it in the conservatory really loud. Okay, I feel like I'm also going to add like that there. Oh my lord! Who is fighting ender dragons and scaring the wits out of poor old Bisuma? Okay. Try adding iron doors on top, maybe. Yeah, a few iron doors will look alright, but like, no one's even going to see the detail here, so I think I'm just going to leave it at that, right? Like, I'm not trying to make a work of art, I'm just trying to make something that was better than the last one, because the last one, well, that was kind of questionable, you know? That was kind of questionable. Okay, we can put some things away. We're going to go put some stuff back in our shop, of course. Might as well sleep in the bed while we're here. No, apparently I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to break it. I feel like X is a British food hippie. I don't know about the hippie part, but I'm definitely a foodie. I'm going to have a big old salad after this, which I'm looking forward to. The belly's rumbling a bit as well, so I'll enjoy it. Oh no, that's not going in there. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze! Emergency mute! Woo! We got Kodak 5 Prez here for 2 months. Love the YouTube videos and occasional streams I can tune into. Keep up the good content. Thanks so much, dude. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Right, I've just realised that the music is kind of low in my ears today. It's like very ambient in the background. Now I can hear it a bit better. Actually, I'm going to turn it back down. It was kind of alright where it was. Scarcade says, I no longer eat breakfast. Instead, I just drink coffee. My teachers and parents say it's unhealthy. What do you think? Well, I think if you're skipping breakfast, you know, like you can skip a meal, but are you eating as much as you need through the other meals? You don't want to deficit beyond your means. I mean, if you're trying to deficit, then, you know, and you do it right, then that's good. But doing it beyond your means, not so good. Having coffee every day, I don't recommend. Coffee is addictive, and if you're one of those people where it's like, oh, I can't get going without my coffee, that means that your body's like dependent on it, and I think that's not a good thing. For me, as I've discussed many times, if I have like a coffee one day and then the next, like I'll really start craving it on the third, and so I kind of have a rule that coffees are like rather sparsely used for me individually. We've got an Evil X! It's a Felian here for 66 months! All hail the X, the Evil X even. Hail, says Retty. That's the way you do it. Thank you so much, man. 66 months, incredible right there. That's like 10, that's like 11 times 6, not 10 times 6. Jeez, numbers. Soon it's going to be 6 years. So yeah, got to finish my sentence now, haven't I? Oh, I don't want to finish my sentence. Yeah, coffee's addictive, like physically and potentially mentally as well. 2 types of addiction, physical and mental. Oh yeah, and I was supposed to stock up the bone shop, right? Let's actually do a little bit of that. How are we doing on the bones? I'm gonna leave all of this here. We'll stock up by crafting. Also got more iron over here. How are we doing on time? Oh wow, we've been streaming for an hour. That's usually what it is. There's usually like this, oh that won't take long, little job, and then an hour goes by and I'm like, have I done anything this stream? Let me also check my list. I think I might pass on the crafting of bone blocks. So that's done, that's kind of good. Okay, yeah, so I want to work on something else, and an important detail here is the proximity is 3 blocks diagonally out. If I go and put one of these in here, it's going to be like 1, 2, yeah, I'm going to run into the same old issue again. What do I want to do here? I want to add some like storage somewhere. And I don't feel like adding a passageway through here makes much sense. I kind of like this whole little drop down thing. But somewhere I want to add some bulk storage. Maybe the place to do it is just behind here. Maybe not. Nope, there's no space behind there. Although I could, in theory, just put the chests forward and then have no sort of system. I don't like that. I want to do something that's fancy. This really was my best bet, I thought. It's a shame there isn't a way to compact that. Because if I want to use that, I'm then going to have to fill in the sides, which I don't want to do. I don't want to like take away from that experience, like the look and feel of this room. So either I go set up some bulk storage somewhere else, which doesn't make sense. It should all be in the same spot, right? Or potentially I could add that floor thing here. Then again, you know, you don't want it right where you're running into the area, so that doesn't make much sense. Kind of feels like there might not be much of an opportunity. Let's go down below, though. I mean, to do something with redstone, there's loads of space. There's loads of space in here. Which kind of to me suggests that being able to walk through like one of these edges and then all of a sudden there's just so much space back here, right? There's definitely space below. Perhaps not so much where I was going to put my little trapdoor. That kind of brings us into a similar sized room again. So, which of these barrels could I actually rip out? Now, I've used the ones over there for flowers, so that's kind of out. The redstone one is probably the most movable in terms of items that are here. And then we can also move these two. This doesn't have a lot of heads, so they can probably get shuffled about. Like, the thing with these ones, though, is they are filled to the brim, top to bottom, with exception to iron. So this panel here, I could take those heads and probably put them on that panel. And then that means I could go back here and do some extension type stuff. Question is it going to look good? Like, I really love the layout of this area at the moment. And I feel like we'd break some of the symmetry that's on display here. But yeah, look at that. There's a fair bit of space back here that we could exploit to some extent. Now it feels to me like maybe the smarter thing to do is to open up all of these and then create like a bridge across and then have a whole other area going on in there. Can I rip out some more of these barrels? Now, if we look at the edges, it kind of feels to me like we need to cover up that wall. So we're probably going to want like a ring. I think I can see something coming together now. Like something that's going to be genuinely kind of cool. Kind of cool. Problem is, I'm building it in this corner, which to me, again, helps with symmetry because you've got entrances and then this is like the opposite, so it makes sense. Where are those going to go? Potentially in that area. Potentially I move those things away and put them over there. There's definitely some shuffling I can take advantage of. Maybe I could put some of those mob heads over here as well. But all in all, like, this whole storage project has started to get pretty filled up. I think actually maybe the spot to put them is over here. I could use this top row and the second row, and then as you can see, ender pearls start to fill up. Also these. We got noises in the air, quite a few are about to come through. Prototype 128 here with the Prime. Official Jaden is gifting a sub to. Oh my god, this never works. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you for gifting the sub again, Jaden. Let's chuck that in there. And then in this one. Okay, so we're looking at taking over the top two rows. If I want to do that with pork chops, I mean, I've already got some stuff dedicated through shulker boxes, and I don't really want to use more of them, but for now, in the long run, we're going to free up tons of shulker boxes is generally the idea here, when you see what I've got in mind. Kind of feels a bit mad to put all of that in a shulker box, but we'll get there eventually, right? We'll use those up, we'll consume those. Okay, so now we have the whole of this top area over here, and we're going to move all of these ones into that space. And I've got a vision for how we're going to use this corner and expand our storage. So all's good now, I feel like. We've sussed out what to do. We do have 6 heads we're sending over there, but it's 5 wide. So I think I'll make it work. What about a bulk storage system being the barrels that are sorted and fed into the barrels? Wandering through life, I'm not doing any sorting systems at the moment. And I was tempted to build one. I was thinking about building a second base. Oh, that's not actually what I wanted to put there. Now notice how sometimes they retain their head names and sometimes they don't when you like pick them up and put them down. I don't know what's up with that. But these ones over here are certainly not having any trouble. So I think what I'm going to do is have those 5 and then the sheep is actually going to go like left to right. Also, if I put a Zoglin head there and an Enderman head, oh yeah. And then what could be a firework? Oh my word, I've just had an amazing idea. I need to make note of that somewhere. I'll put it in that one. Got some notes open here. Okay, got some cool stuff coming together now. You will see. We've got a sub bomb here from Yorgmung Andar IX. Thank you so much for gifting 10 subs. Morno, Thiritius, Kappa Kurarayan, Anon Forks, Deej1334, Dazzalot, Sonicin Flation, Twiggies, Boonas, Konugia. You've all been gifted subs by Jorgmundager. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Teamwork in stream work. Oh, they must be working on something together. Creeperhead says Strongfish. I ain't got one. I ain't got one. Oh my words, that is... Okay, that ties into why I want to expand my storage. I do not want to keep storing stuff in shulker boxes because I ran out. I'm trying to like purge my shulker box situation, right? Hey, it just double clicked in all the ones with the same and left the one out that isn't. That makes total sense, but like I didn't expect that. Pighead. Yeah, Pighead. Oh man. I was going to put a Zoglin head, but a Pighead might be more interesting. Okay, let me make some notes. I like this. I like this a lot. We're brainstorming some good ideas together today, peeps. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Prismarine, eh? Just that's all I've got. That's all I've got, Elder Guardian. You're a waste of space. Garstier ain't too far behind, is it? Oof, that is a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. Right, let's check it out again. So now we've got all the excess wall stuff. Go chuck this in with the sheep. Arrogance is just tuning in. What's going on? Well, we did a lot of we didn't do a lot. We built a silo, and we set up some beacons over in the Moon District. Now we're in the process of moving around some storage so that we can expand our base and its storage capacity. Hey X, how is your day? How is your day? Mine is full of homework. Day 1 quarantine, says DM Magna. Do your homework, peeps. Look at me trying to be Mr. Encourage you to do good. You know, I was thinking earlier. I always think on this, like when I was young, what I'd do differently and all of that. But man, there is some great value in taking care of things that need doing first. And I think it's hard to explain, but like. Today I spent my... Oh, with the roses. I spent my entire morning cleaning... Well, I say cleaning. I was doing, like, jobs around the house, right? Like, defrosting the freezer. I don't think you can call that cleaning, but it needs to be done. And I just found myself, like, taking pride in my home, which is probably easier because it's my home, right? When you're younger, when you're a kid or whatever, maybe it doesn't feel the same way, right? Like, you get asked to do a chore and it's like, oh, I want to play computer games, and... I was so like that when I was younger, but man, I wish I could have like thought about it differently. Because when you step back from doing a good bit of work, it's satisfying. You're like, hey, I did that. I took care of that. And you take a bit of pride in your work when you do it well. Because I didn't half-ass defrosting my freezer. I did it fully and wiped it down nice and clean, no water in there. So when all the stuff goes back in, it's like, it's completely clean, you know, and without ice. Yeah, and it just made me think, like, it's just one of those things I wish I'd have done when I was younger, like, learnt the value of that. Like, if you're listening, some of you are listening, you're young, you're in school, you live with your parents or whatever, like, if like, you were to, you know, go clean up, right, maybe it's not even your mess, and it's like, why do I have to do this, you know? But, like, imagine being able to take pride in that, right, like, you're cleaning up for others. Something I do when I go to my parents' house is I try and like clean up for them where I can. Just take pride in the things you can do for others, and you're doing it for yourself as well if you like live there or whatever. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I look back at how I used to think and feel, and I'm like, man, if I'd thought about this differently when I was that age, I wish I'd have learnt this stuff sooner. You know, to take care and pride in the things that you do. I mean, that translates to my YouTube channel in a big way, I think. You know, you might not think about it like that, but like I take a lot of pride and care in that, right? And my journey on YouTube has like extended. The things I've learned through doing this has extended to other parts of my life. Like it's taught me so many things, especially about like hard work and being dedicated and whatnot. It's taught me a lot. By the way, if I look like I'm just a headless chicken looking around, it's because I'm like looking around at the base and trying to pick out something that kind of like goes where I want to go, and I just realised it's yellow terracotta. And look, another shulker box just hanging out, just not being fully utilised, I feel like. That is growth, says Soy Sauce Game. It is, but like, oh man, some kids have it. Like I've met some young people over the years where, or like maybe I didn't realise it at the time and I look back, or sometimes I did at the time, but it's like you've just got it together, you've figured it out already. Whereas I was like a life is pain teenager, if you like. You know, everything was difficult and you know, for some time a good reason. I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, but you know, you can be incredibly moody when you're a teenager. It's kind of like being a teenager is weird. It's like just the worst time for school and the worst time for all this other stuff. It's like it feels like your instincts are programmed to like not want to do any of this, yet it's the time when all that stuff happens. And hey, I don't need that much. Yeah. I don't know. Like I just look back on stuff. Wish I'd have done it different, but yeah, you live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. Oh gosh, I knew these kind of teenagers too, and I see it I see so much change in you. I was one of those teenagers, believe me. Oh, I was a pain in the arse. School makes me want to commit several acts of arson, says Zizzy Bop. Oh god, I felt the same way at school, right? Felt the same way. Where is this? Oh, this is actually going where the barrels are for the most part, so I do actually need to now figure out where we're temporarily going to put all of that mass storage, because this stuff will probably end up... Actually, I think I said I was going to shuffle it around, so some of these things we move like maybe over to the redstone wall, because this is more for looks, you know. There is some vague effort, and apparently I put piston in twice, so we'll take one of those out, you know. And if I've got any target blocks, which I don't, then go over on that side. Player heads. Didn't remember those ones, did it? Not sure what constitutes if it's going to remember or not. Redbone02 Spartos here with a Prime. Robbie Green 15 here for 3 months. Where'd you get your inspiration and ideas from for the new builds and projects? Such a difficult question to answer, and I get asked it so much. I'm just an inspired person. I see things and I want to put my own twist on them, essentially. You know, I'm like a mental remixer, if you like. That's what most creativity is, just kind of looking out there, seeing what's going on and wondering how you could do it differently. We got Hermitcraft YT gifting a sub to Punchy. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, dude. Appreciate the support of the community. We also got Tofferito here with a Prime. Thank you so much. This season has been one of the best yet, in my opinion. Can't wait for the world download, says me, White Warrior. The world download is going to be like amazing with Decked Out on it. But people are so going to enjoy playing that. We'll take that, and we're going to put our prismarines up here. I think we'll put terracotta down the bottom. And one thing I like about what we're doing right now is we're kind of really starting to utilize the mini blocks more, because they're way more visible now. Okay, yeah, I should put some of this away. All this prismarine I brought from Impulse, I'm just remembering as well. Sadly, no restocks for Decked Out in World Download, says Burb Ison. I don't know what you mean by that, because when you got access to the World Download, right, you have, like, access to the game. yeah, I don't know what else it is you would want from... Like, the game's all there, right? Like, I don't know what you're getting at. Oh, I guess you need a game administrator, maybe, is what you're saying? You need, like, a Tango Tech. Tango Tech needs to be supplied with the world download so you can play it. I get it. That's a good point, actually, yeah. Baum says, I feel like the world download will be far bigger than previous worlds. Actually, at the moment, we've done a far better job of looking after the world. And that is because the tools in which I use to make the world downloads more manageable, I've actually been using throughout the season this time. So when we update the server, I also prune the world. And because of that, the world size has actually kept fairly reasonable so far. So what this means is, if someone flies out in a direction, exploring, and, you know, they don't load it for long enough, it gets pruned. It's like, we can tell how long people are in chunks for, and then we can get rid of them because, obviously no one did anything, right? So if we don't prune periodically, people fly over the same bits again and again, and then they cross the threshold of how long they've been loaded for, and therefore they stay in the world. So the trick is to prune it frequently. And I think for future ones, I might actually, future worlds, maybe Season 8, I might actually go, hey, why don't I do this once a month? We just have a bit of downtime, and that way we can keep the world nice and lean. And maybe that would be good for you know, the server and for people downloading it in the future. Okay, that is now empty, which means we can actually bring everything from here to that side. We'll fall in the honey first. Someone once told me to chase a shiny thing in life. Don't stress too much if you don't achieve your big plan. There will always be another way to go and another thing to challenge. Often the most exciting parts of life are the things you don't see coming, said Mad Stare a bit. Yeah, I would... to say something similar in the way that I would say it, you know, it can be easy in life to look at big picture things and think that's what you want and you need. I thoroughly believe in the journey. You should have big lofty goals, perhaps, but like realize it's not actually about achieving them, it's about the path to get there. So let's say this is your goal, right? You want to become, you know, a famous musician or whatever, right? First of all, the fame itself shouldn't be the motive. It should be being a musician. If you want to be a big and successful musician, that's fine. The chances of that playing out is going to be astronomically slim. But if you love music and you love doing all the things that lead towards that end goal, then it is worth pursuing because you spend your time writing music, developing a craft. It is the things that make life good, that, you know, that fulfill you as a person. So, you know, like, the goal, it's not really about becoming a famous musician, it's about doing all the things on the road to that, like making songs and whatnot. Okay, we'll take all of that with us. So if you have ambitions in life, like, that's great, but remember, it's all about doing things. So if the ambitions lead you to do things, the doing of stuff will be the real reward, essentially. Aha, we cleared out all of that. Okay, there's room for that over there then. I mention Hermitcraft spelt with an 8 whenever I am hoping the Hermit stream and they mention Fusing Seasons, hoping it will stick. I don't think it does because it just I don't think that looks right. Hermitcraft. I guess Hermit, yeah, when you say it, it makes sense. I could see that one getting used. I think for me, I wouldn't use it, but that could probably work. Wasn't there a little bit of that in a previous season? Maybe was it season 6 or... No, actually, I don't think anyone did do that. I don't think anyone shoved the number into it. Is there a set date that season 7 will be over, says Mika Gold? No, there's no date. I mean, the world's going to last for at least a year. That tends to be the thing with Hermitcraft, right? And depending on when updates and stuff come out, maybe 2 years. Like, Season 6 was practically 2 years, I believe. That's one of the great things about Hermitcraft. I feel like if we reset it too often, it would lose its charm as well. It might have been Season 3 where the sign had a 3 instead of an E. Yes, yes, that was probably it. And I don't think that was really widespread either, but that was definitely a moment to do that. When will Hermitcraft stop? Season 10, 20? I don't know. I don't know where the end of the line is. Like, I feel like there'll be a point where you see it coming, but that point ain't right now. It ain't right now, and I don't really see it changing anytime soon, but you never know. Things that could change it would probably be something like some other big game coming along that just steers people away from doing this. But it's hard to see. I mean, I think Hytale's certainly passed the hype. Like, that had an incredible amount of hype. That's not a great, like, that's not a defining factor of if something will succeed or not, but it'd certainly help get things off the ground. But it's very strange. I think people thought it was going to come out, and then there's a fair amount of like toxicity out there now towards Hytale that I've seen. I think maybe people got their hopes up and then were like really disappointed that it didn't come out soon. And now obviously things are dead quiet on it. I feel like Hytale's probably lost a lot of interest just based on the fact that it was revealed the way it did, which initially was great, and then it sort of slowed and died off. It'd be fascinating to see what happens when that game comes out, though, because there is this thing that I talk about, how games come out too early and offer up like a small part of the gameplay, and then you can see people just get bored of it and move on. And then when the rest of the gameplay's there, it's like, nah, I've been there, done that. I mean, maybe Hytale might suffer from some sort of like early preconceptions that, you know, if it comes out in like 2021. People might just be like, oh, I'm over that already. It'd be really strange. Obviously, loads of people are going to go play it, though. Obviously. I'd go play it, no doubt. I feel like Hytale's announced too early, and so the wait's too long, says Phoenix Grey. I think it should have came out the same year they announced it. Or didn't they announce it in December, so like the following year? How long has it actually been? Was it last year they announced it, or was it 2018? I wouldn't be surprised by either. Actually, I think 2018 would surprise me a little bit much. We also live in a very short attention span age. It used to be projects would get announced and appear years later. I remember being a kid and hearing about the new Star Wars movies, and I used to like count it on my fingers. I'd be oh, 11, 12, 13 when that comes out, or something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers. Oh, a little bit of poetry here. Yeah, I remember like counting it on my fingers and like doing math for like, right, it's 5 years away, so like how old am I going to be when it comes out? I have a really strong memory of doing that. I was in the back of a car and like everyone was talking about Star Wars, like new Star Wars movies. It just stuck with me, I guess. But yeah, literally counting it out. Whereas these days, they tend to announce stuff sometimes like a year in advance, right? But isn't there space over here? There we go. But like, not too much. Oh wait, started in 2015, announced in 2018, set to release in 2021, says Tuxaban. I don't think Hytale has an announced date. I feel like I would have... Sorry, a release date. I feel like I would have caught that. I'm going to guess that release date is based on speculation around the wording they've used to describe their patience, because they described having a lot of patience with this game, right? That they're not just going to rush into it. Actually, I want to put that down the bottom. Did you know it's been acquired by Riot Games? I did. I was aware of that. Don't really know what that means in the big picture, because it could be like a hands-off acquiring, or it could be like we want to give you more resources, or we want to gut this game. You don't know what it means. So yeah. Given the nature of its development, the way they talked about their product, I can't help but feel they would have signed something that was not gonna like ruin the game, right? Like they weren't just gonna turn it into a microtransaction game or something. Okay. Slowly getting there. Skibby says, do you receive emails for you to play other games? Yeah, I get those all the time. The problem with that stuff is that I'm open to, like, playing other games, but it's just so spammy, it's easy to, like, just not notice the stuff, because it's like, oh, someone wants me to play their game again, like, you get a key or whatever. And so you just tend to skim over it. Does your fans' support help you build such a huge builds? Says Hen Lomi. The way in which people supported me directly, financially, is like obviously, you know, helps pay the bills and all that. There was a time though, actually no, there really wasn't. Yeah, it just helps me financially. Is basically it. If you know, if you want to support me, that's what you're doing, kind of thing. It doesn't really help me make bigger builds because, like, this is my full-time job, right? There was a time when people supporting me would have helped me make bigger stuff because I was still working another job, but that time was a long time ago. And back then, like, doing this for money was really frowned upon. It's interesting to see the dynamic change over time. It used to be that accepting money or anything for, like, doing YouTube was kind of like selling out. And then slowly, like, you know, people started to change their opinions a little bit. And, like, for us on the inside doing this, like, I could see it. When I went full-time, I tried to convince some of my friends to do this as well, but I couldn't convince anyone. But I saw the future, man. And I could have seen the future and it never played out. Doesn't mean I've got, like, a special knowledge or whatever. But being on the inside of YouTube in the early games, it was like, in the early days, it was like, this is going to become something. That's what it felt like. It felt like this is new, it's growing, and it just seems to check all the boxes for something big and new that's going to happen in the future. And so I am kind of not surprised that I am doing this for 10 years. In other ways I am. In other ways it's incredible. It's like, whoa, how is this still going? But it was definitely something that I saw changing. It was like, this is going to be big. People are going to be watching videos. This is like the new way things are going to be done, and I want to be a part of it, right? And I went full time. But yeah, like initially, if you were to say like, hey, you know, send me some money or whatever, you're a sellout. And one of my first little dramas on being a YouTube channel, I put a PayPal donate button on my banner. You used to be able to control your banner and what would happen if you clicked on it and where you clicked on it. And there was this Facebook thread going around saying, this is the real reason some people make videos. And it was like, alright then, okay. Jeez. Yeah, so like there was a little bit of drama towards doing that, you know. Alright, so now I feel like I'm not sure if I want to rush into filling this space out entirely just yet. Like, what do I want to do with this? I want to keep a lot of this fill. I would like to actually have our glass continue. And if we just go and look at where we extend it over the honey, that's all we do. So let's actually do that and extend some glass over the honey. And it will allow us to walk into this area, right? And that feels pretty good so far, so I'm liking that. Now when we're on this side of it, I technically don't have to have this floor at this height. There's potentially a bunch of things I could do differently here. In fact, it might be better if this shifts downwards rather than up. I feel like the floor might not want to be yellow, but being able to see the beam of yellow across here feels more visible than when it's down. I went into the honey. I'm a bee caught in my own honey. How did it happen? I should be immune to honey, shouldn't I, when I wear the skin? It shouldn't stick me to the ground. Oh, look at me waffling. Did you try any new curries, says that Ali. Jeez. I blatantly waffle about curries too much. Oh man, we've got some intensity with this song. Little bit of guitar, little bit of screamy voice going on. Love it. Honey immunity enchantment. Yeah, I don't know. That could fit in. I mean, to add a feature and then add a interaction with that feature through an enchantment, always a good idea in Minecraft. Not sure honey specifically if it would make sense, but for example, they added the soul speed enchantment with the soul soil. Add a new mechanic. And well, actually, no, the enchantment is the mechanic in that sense. Huh. Bad point. Hey, as always, watch your videos on 2x speed, so it's so strange to see you talking so slow. What do you mean? I'm not talking slow, I'm talking just how I normally talk. I don't like watching stuff sped up that much. I sometimes speed up podcasts a little bit, but I think there is value in enjoying things at a slower pace as well. There's definitely value in that. Well, I'm really starting to wonder now, like, where's the way to go with this? Oh, I kind of ambled about and got distracted. I need some scaffolding. Me need the scaffold that is ing. Can you get your voice high, like mumbo jumbo high? Oh, give me a second, give me a second. Okay, here we go. Here we go, right. Oh, okay, come a little bit further. A little bit. Just a little bit more. Oh. Okay, come a little bit further. A little bit. Just a little bit more. Oh.
Can you guys hear that playing again? Wait. I think I accidentally recorded myself and played it back. Oh, this is all...
No, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, jeez. Oh. Okay, back to normal. That hurt. That hurt. Yeah, how did I do that? This is a test, this is a test. This is a test, this is a test. Whoa, hang on a minute. Right. Hang on a minute, I gotta think for a second. Wait. Okay. I gotta think. Oh man, this is kind of tricky actually. Okay, I'm gonna. Right. Oh, get rid of that music in the background. This ain't gonna work. Hang on. Boom. Oh, right, it's got to be on the beat, right? Boom. So now can I do two at the same time? So it's got to be a boom. Oh no, it's horrible. No, okay, I've had enough. I've had enough fun. No, stop! I've had enough fun. Oh, I should get that like on an actual, like, I got a little beatbox machine for making beats. I should get those like things hooked up. Okay, that was weird. That was some weird stuff. Where's my music? Feels wrong. Feels wrong right now. Oh, back to normality. So I'm half wondering if we should have a honey block gutter again, so to speak. But let's say we bring this down to this level. The glass... I'm not feeling the transition too much. Maybe lowering it weren't the best way to go. Or maybe actually we look at it like this. Like, what if we have it like you... that might be that's the way to go. That is the way to go, homie. Do you use a DAW program to create music these days, says I'm and I. I've got a DAW system, but I don't do any creation. I was tempted to do some the other day, like, I don't know, I'm so driven by productivity, it feels difficult for me to relax and take time off that isn't focused towards something, so it's hard for me to get on the computer and dilly-dally, because when you make music, you gotta dilly-dally, right? That's where the good stuff comes from. When you make music, like, if you're practicing it often, you'll have moments where like songs just jump out and come at you, but a lot of the time it's like you dilly-dally, you just spend time in this like creative environment, goofing around, writing riffs, doing this thing, doing that, and then, you know, you'll get a couple of things together or a spark will light and you start writing. But it's so hard to just like go, this next hour is for writing. Like, it doesn't work like that. So it's hard for me to step away from my like productivity of making videos and doing live streams. Like, I really embrace this, you know, in this way, essentially. And yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really. Now, one thing in next is, I don't want to make this all out of yellow, but what if we start to just define the shape of the room? Because I'm thinking we're probably going to want like a yellow border, and then something else goes in the middle, perhaps. One thing I do need to consider is that I'm going to put a lot of chests in here. So we need a little bit of height. We've kind of lost a sense of height at the moment. We'll kind of see where this is going. It might end up that we just have like these quirky yellow walls. But maybe we can mix in some other materials. I'm not sure. But what I do think we need is steps that lead downwards right here. And again, might just build with stone. Or like, do I jump into using the material that I want to use, or do I let's go into creative menu, or do I, how can I put it, do I put in like placer, like blocks to be replaced, or do I, oh god, I can't finish my own sentences. I think smooth sandstone stairs is probably the nicest one that's going to fit in of all of those, or maybe quartz, like yellow on white, probably not the most interesting. That might look really nice. We'll try the smooth red one, actually. By the way, I was brainstorming with a little bit of an idea here. Okay, Minesweeper in Minecraft. Okay, I was thinking about Iskal's treasure hunt game because I want to come up with a little game that gets hermits playing. I was trying to think of an interesting spin, and then I just started thinking about Minesweeper. Right, like you break that, and it costs the use of your shovel, but there's like stone. And stone is 0, so you can break that one. That one's 0 as well. You break this one, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's green. Green means 1. So now it's touching 1 mine in this area. Something like that. But I couldn't really frame it in a way where the Minesweeper game. And by the way, if you don't know what Minesweeper is, just do a little search. You can play it in a browser on a web page. It's like, how do you gear that into being a communal server game? How can I make it so that everyone can come along and participate? Couldn't really think of a way to do that. Couldn't really think of a way to make it a game where... any red sandstone? Doesn't look like it. Maybe... No, we've just got the sand. How could I make it a game where people come along... Sorry. 2 ways to frame the game. Communal game, or a game where you put in your diamonds, a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, and you might win some diamonds in the process, right? Like, how do I do either of those things with that? And I couldn't figure it out. I've got to smelt it, don't I? I've got to go, whoever smelt it, dealt it. That's what I've got to go do now. Carlitos, you have not made a incredible, wonderful, amazing discovery with the Hermitcraft seed. There's no need to spam it. The seed is public knowledge that we share every season. So yeah, please don't go around spamming it. Never fixed this. Jeez. Need to fix that for sure. Need a bit of cyan from somewhere, don't I? Oh, I guess we can fly, get 1 block of cyan and come back again. Monster Crawl. Minesweeper roguelike has items and abilities. Ooh. So the game then becomes not the main game. It becomes... Yeah, I can kind of see maybe how that would work. Iron Face. That's a great idea. Oh, now I can picture it. Now I can picture it, right? I can picture it now. You go in to play the game of Minesweeper, and then when you get treasure, that contributes to like a roguelike game, collecting collectibles or something. Oh man, okay, that's interesting. Thing is, every game, as I currently picture it being played, would have to be manually reset. I could move sand around to reset an arena, but to represent the numbers below, I mean, you can have a lamp turned on or off, but it kind of ends there, right? Maybe I don't need to represent the numbers. Maybe all I ever do is just tell you that there's one touching a mine. That would make it more of a game of chance, right? And so, ooh, this is starting to play out interestingly in my mind. When you lose the game, when you lose the game, oh, you leave some behind. How? My mind's bobbling a little bit because when you do game design, you really have to think through many threads all at once. Sensation parameter block swappers would not be possible. Just because of the nature. Oh, do you know what? This thing is terrible with small amounts. You got to do that, and then it'll do the rest. Can only place once a day or week, says Mountain in J. You know, the frequency of play is a thing, right? So I will have to think if using redstone lamps is a good idea or not, because possibly I can come up with like a randomization system to turn on a certain amount in a set grid, right? Then we can have a reset game button where pistons push across. So it would be a 12 by 12 grid. I believe this is 16 by... No, this is 12 by 12. Pistons can push sand back across, right? Sand's on top. Now you go in there with your shovel, and your shovel's only got a certain amount. Now, did you buy that shovel? Can you buy one some more? I'm not sure what the best way to do this is dynamically, but all you're then doing is mining until you hit a red... No, you see, there's only 2 states here because you need a third state. You need the mine. So you can make it a straight up game of like dig the sand until you hit a mine, then maybe you trade in the sand for something. That's like pure luck and not a lot of thought. We need to add in an element of thought. So let's say, actually, let's use a barrel, right? Because this is like a non-manipulatable with redstone block that we can put items into. If we want to make it so that the place where you get your prize is random, I don't know how to do that. Like, you need some other property here if you want it to be randomized every time someone enters. So if we can do that, that means creating this, you know, Minesweeper treasure hunter game becomes resettable. And if it's resettable and reliable on redstone, it makes it far more adaptable to frequent playing, you know? You can't do it without the mobile tile entity, says Vactro. Seems so. I mean, you could do something with dispensers and shulkers, right? But, you know, you can't replace... Or maybe you can. Maybe there's some complex redstone out there where you could. But in order to power the lamps to begin with, you know, you can push them about, right? But I don't see that quite working out that way. The other thing is that maybe there's always a barrel. But then again, then all you're doing is you're digging away, looking in the barrel, there's nothing there, move on to the next one. So I actually don't see a way for that to work with redstone currently. But there might be some sort of exploitable mechanic somewhere. That's the thing. Shoot an item through an observer, says the aggressive turtle. Well, they would have to set that... Again, but then, you know, how do you move the location of that? You can't move the dispenser. The point is, you want a set of conditions, okay? We can randomize potentially, maybe with a lot of redstone, where the mines are. If we have something like a redstone lamp to represent that, that's not a problem. But then it's like, okay, but now how do we have treasure in there? Right? So if there's a game here that we can make, if we can find the right combinations of blocks that are underneath sand, that mean something, that can be manipulated, that can be interacted with from redstone, then there is the potential to turn that into a randomized game where you go in, you mine the sand on top, and you see how far you can get. Needs to have a bit of skill. That's really important. It shouldn't just be random. Needs to have skill. And I'm not really seeing ways for that to work in my mind. But anyway, that was an idea I was wrestling with the last couple of days. Was like Minesweeper in Minecraft. I kind of pictured maybe using maps and putting the numbers on the maps. And then I thought about using player heads with numbers on, but then I thought, well, the player head isn't a full block, so that reveals what's next to it. But I love the idea of having a shovel and doing the Iskall thing. You kind of go in with a shovel that's got a certain amount of uses. Maybe part of that is randomized, right? Throwing a little randomization into it. There's definitely an idea there. Just not sure if Minecraft has the right components to make it happen. Oops. So if we put chests down at this level, I could fill the back with glowstone. I could put white concrete under here, and then they could go up a fair bit. We could even have terracotta on the side, so we can kind of keep all the colours at bay, and then have a bit of a mass storage area here. It just wouldn't look terribly interesting with this flat side of yellow. We could also potentially go upwards with these mirrored, but then you'd be standing down here and you'd be reaching too high up. So at this point it's just like, how do we make this room feel more interesting, essentially? And there's not a lot of space to work with. But I think I'm gonna use that as a guideline now. I don't think I'm gonna shift too much stuff around, so it probably makes sense to go put in some white concrete. This is the kind of design that I seem to end up doing over and over again, is like working in a small space and overthinking like where a handful of blocks are going to go. It just, something about the way I play leads me to this spot over and over again. In fact, I think it might make sense to open this up a bit and maybe not have it come down as low. That might give us a bit more flexibility with what we're doing. Oh, Zedaf's playing. I'm assuming the beast is from Decked Out. I wanted to play Decked Out on the stream today. Oh well. JG Diamond 123 is here for 2 months. Thank you so much, dude. Soldier Boy 027 here for 2 months. Pringo here for free. Purple Lover 41 with a Prime, and your boy is here with the Prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. In order to find where the bombs are, maybe place a random water source block underneath the playing area. Depending on how the water is flowing, you can figure out where the bombs are. That's a very interesting idea, Wolf Force. That is a... Let's go speculate here. That is an interesting use of game mechanics. Right, we could randomize which dispensary... I mean, I don't think this is going to play out very well. But let's just roll with it, right? Like, depending on what one of these turns on, okay, it does create a shape, and that shape could lead to something. I think the big problem here is probably that you're dealing with a 12 by 12 area, and this spreads out 8 blocks. So an alternative to that is lava. But again, you now have to leave this like clear space above your dispenser. So even if we had lava spreading out, which it doesn't spread as far, like, how are we going to get sand floating on top of it? I think it's an interesting idea, but maybe not actually. Let's have a look in chat. For Minesweeper, put observers underneath any blocks, so when you mine them, they push all blocks from the side like a feed tape. Sounds like it'll be a game of random chance. I don't want to create a game of random chance, really. It could end up that we find a way to do that. I really want skill to be involved. Someone mentioned cauldrons. Not sure that would work. Chicken or bat wandering? Maybe. Cactus, when it grows, it drops out on a pressure plate. You got to think in terms of a grid. You got to think in terms of like the information is in a 12 by 12 block underneath sand. I actually think I'm going to think on this more because I think it's a little futile at the moment the way it's set up. Put barrels and have droppers with numbered paper put into it. Yeah, crikey. Then you've got to math how the system figures out what numbers to put in so they make sense, and get that information into a 12 by 12 block. That is some extraordinary redstone right there. And, you know, the more complex and extraordinary it gets, the more tricky and likely to run into problems you are. That's how I'm thinking about it. Why did I zip this out by one again? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, somewhere around here we've got to put in our... it's actually... Oh, wait, what? That's not... There we go. Yeah, somewhere around here we've got to put in our chests. So I put them there, and then glowstone goes behind it. Ugh. Why does it need to be sand, or could it be a layer of glass, says Wolfforce? Well, in theory, it could be anything if it achieves the goal. The reason I went with sand was just the way you could distribute shovels to destroy the blocks. Lucaro says, but do the sand blocks have to be adjacent? They don't, but if you imagine a 12 by 12 grid with blocks in between, then it becomes 25 by 25. And I think you'll lose some of the immersion. I kind of want the solution to be simple. Like, it is possible to make all kinds of games in Minecraft, but when the player interacting with that isn't very, like, slick and straightforward, if there's a lot of clankiness, like, oh, you broke that block, so now you got to go and press the button on the wall and wait for a colour to pop up or something like that, you know, I'd like to keep the games as streamlined as possible. So as soon as they start to steer away from that, that's like kind of a sign to me. Ooh, Zedaf has potentially died on 2 runs here. Yikes. Where am I going, by the way? I'm just ambling again. I need chests, and I need glowstone. Glowstone's over here. Does it have to be random? Couldn't you reset the maps or something, says Chaos Order? The point would be that I do not want to go in and manually set it up every single time. Like, think about what decked out would be like if Tango had to manually build it every time someone played it, right? So whatever, where did my pork chops go? Here they are. Whatever we come up with, it needs to be like that. Tuxaban says they are likely adding more beasts. More? Oh my word. The dungeons are pretty crazy as it is. So then we have chests like here. Once we get the chests in, maybe I'll start to like see that prettiness isn't like the biggest priority here as well. So we can potentially have something like that. They could go all the way around the corners. Just wonder if there's a way to make this look a little nicer. You know, like a couple of maybe if they were a different material. I don't know. It just feels like it's not. The room's really not big enough for that kind of detail. This is like squashed up against there, isn't it? I think also these might look better if they just wrapped around. Oh, apparently Zed is the bait, so they're moving the beasts around. I see. Okay, where is... Ah, fell in a hole. Down in a hole. No, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to do that again. Wallpapers, says T-Man. Yeah, I could put some paintings up, right? Oh, I don't know. It'll come to me. I'm definitely better at creative stuff when I'm not streaming. I just tend to like to not talk and look and think. That's when the ideas come to me. When I'm talking all the time, it's like, you know, I'm talking about Minesweeper, so I'm not really like shuffling through different blocks and shapes and whatnot. But hey, at least we got a little bit done here. I could put like a water stream in or something coming down over here. I think might be nice, a little water feature. The main thing though is to block off the view of the barrels. Like, I just don't feel like... I mean, maybe they could somehow be an interesting part of this. Maybe I should embrace it. Might be the solution we're looking for. Yeah, that to me feels a bit more like it in some ways. What if Decked Out had puzzles? That'd be cool. The puzzles are different based on your key. That'd be totally cool. But then you'd have to figure out how to make those puzzles and make them resettable. I'll do some more brainstorming on the idea. But I just got the itch to make a game that can be a bit more replayable, a bit more like seasonal, like Decked Out. Decked Out's incredibly inspiring. It's just, you go in there and you're like, this is madness. This is madness. Okay, I think that's good. We've kind of like opened up this space to say, hey, let's put some bulk storage in, right? Which was what I was looking for. And peeps, before you head out of here, be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want some more Hermitcraft action, stick around. I believe Tango and Zed are raiding. And I'm going to send you over to Zedaf today. Tango's stream title says stream goes here. What's going on with that, eh? Massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate all of your support. And again, yeah. Hit the follow button. Hit the raid button because you can now raid Zedaf with me. So, appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.